Hey y'all, what's up? So, I have created a demon, and I don't usually say this a lot, but I kind of regret making this raid boss, not even gonna lie. As y'all know, on my channel, I make Sparking Zero raid bosses. Now, of course, they haven't gotten a lot of views or much attention, but hey, I try. And, one of the raid bosses that I made recently, that I posted recently actually, updated it yesterday, pretty sure, is a raid boss called Transcended Strength Ultra Instinct. And basically, it's kind of like what it sounds. The raid boss is Ultra Instinct Goku. However, I did a lot of extra, things to this raid boss that wasn't really necessary. So, I may or may not have made this man more overpowered than I originally thought. Luckily, I have the raid boss mechanics right in front of me on the screen. Now, unfortunately, I can't provide any gameplay from the raid boss due to the fact that it has copyrighted music. Reason it has copyrighted music is because it's from the Tournament of Power. And if you're fighting Goku from the Tournament of Power, I want to make you feel like you're fighting Goku from the Tournament of Power. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to provide gameplay from the raid boss for y'all. But luckily, I do have, I have the spreadsheet. I have, the stat sheet of the raid boss in front of me right now, so I can just tell y'all about this raid boss and just give y'all fair warning, because not even gonna lie, I'm scared of this raid boss, and by the time I'm recording this, nobody has beaten the raid boss yet. I haven't checked how many plays it has, but I do know that nobody has beaten it, so yeah, that kind of scares me, not even gonna lie. And I swear to God, if that one person in the comment section that always asks where the femboy video is, just sit down, shut up, and let me cook, alright? Every time you ask, it gets delayed by a day, and it's already been delayed by a week now. Just shut up, alright? That's enough yapping. Now let's move on to the first phase of this raid boss.
So, you finally feel like taking me on then?
Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Where do I even begin? Well, I have the sheet right in front of me. Why did I say that, bro? Alright, so basically Super Saiyan Blue Goku's phase starts out like this. He starts off with pink health, having the equipments God Destruction training, King Kai training, Master Roshi training, and the plus trainings, of course. Pretty sure he either starts with pink or just very high blue health. Then he has Rush Attack Boost 3, Melee Charge 3, Smash Attack Boost 3, Ki Blast Attack Boost 3, Energy Saver 3, Ki Blast Charge 3, Blast Attack Boost 3, Power Unleashed, Combo Master, Draconic Aura, Sparking Charge 3, Master Throw, Power of the Universe, Latent Power, Combo King, Power Up to the Very Limit, Ultimate Blast Boost Ultra, Emperor's Aura, Defense Boost 3. And those are all the equipments that Blue Goku has. Now, all these equipments also apply to MUI Goku as well. But again, this is just the first phase of Blue Goku. Now, in case you have no idea what any of these capsules mean, basically it boosts up all his stats from his Ki Blast to his melees to his supers to his ultimates, blah blah blah. The combo capsules allow him to combo for way longer periods of time. Sparking Charge 3 allows him to get sparking mode way faster than usual, so if he starts charging the full, you better try to stop him from getting his ultimate, because his ultimates, due to the fact that he has Ultimate Blast Attack Boost Ultra, right? His ultimate damage is usually 60k, so you better not get hit by that ultimate. Best way to counter that, it would be with beam clashes, but I'm gonna save that for later. Another thing. Now let's move on. Alright, so basically, whenever he reaches 70% health, he will heal 5 times. He will heal to full health 5 different times. So yeah, it just heals 5 different times whenever he reaches 70% health. When he reaches 52% health, a cutscene activates where he gets his health back, gets knocked back, gets up, and then proceeds to power up. And then he uses Kaioken. And then gets a bunch of buffs. Stay away from him for 10 seconds if you don't practically want to get one shot. His strategy type also changes to Ultimate Blast, which basically focuses on rushes and Ultimate Blast, trying to overwhelm you and stuff like that. And he gets free damage off you, which does 60% damage, 60% damage, does a little less damage than normal, and also uses an emote. and adds extra buffs. So stay away from him for 10 seconds. And he also gets, sparking mode. So in case he immediately uses his ultimate after that, that isn't my problem. Now, moving on. This is Kaioken phase. During his Kaioken phase, when he reaches 45% health, he heals 5 different times and forces the action. Pretty sure this forces either instant transmission or Kaioken, but I'm pretty sure it's instant transmission. Judging from the gameplay, yeah, it's instant transmission. So yeah, basically force him to use instant transmission and teleport behind you, so better watch out. And when he reaches 25% health, this is what happens. He basically activates something new. So I tried to make this as anime accurate as possible, and once Blue Goku reaches 25% health, he heals to full, obviously, but a cutscene activates where, he backflips and says, "Dang, you're pretty strong, but can you handle this, though?" And then he uses an attack he used in the anime, which I'm pretty sure you're all familiar with.
Got a little something for you. This is everyone's power, the Spirit Bomb! Kaioken times 10! No! Times 20!
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, he used the Universe 7 Spirit Bomb. Now let me explain how exactly this happens. Once the cutscene activates where he backflips and, says, "Dang, you're pretty strong, but can you handle this?" It forces him to go back to base form and then trigger an event where he charges up the Spirit Bomb. And then it equips the capsule on Blue Goku called Immortal Body. That way it doesn't fully kill him. And just, he survives on 1 HP. Then, dear God, I just dropped something. Anyways, as I was saying, he survives on 1 HP because he has the capsule equipment, Immortal Body. Then he lands the, Universe 7 Spirit Bomb, which does maximum damage. You're not surviving, so I don't know. You just better have a character that's like ready for bait or something like that, because you're going to lose this character. Yeah, so Future K-Boy Ultra here. So about you losing a character to the Universe 7 Spirit Bomb, I lied. That was actually a different mechanic for a different thing, so my bad. But yeah. Then once his ultimate blast lands, hey, you might be lucky, because then after his ultimate blast lands, who knows, it might activate a cutscene before it kills you fully. But then it activates the cutscene where he's like, "What? No way!" Because one of your characters pushing the Spirit Bomb back, kind of like Jiren did, and then you land your blast that does 999 damage, and he basically gets back up, and let's just say he unlocks something different.
It took me a little while, but I think I've now finally reached the same level as you.
That's right, Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. But yeah, this is the second phase, Ultra Instinct Goku. Now, Blue Goku is just his own phase, even with Kaioken. There's 4 phases of this raid boss. I'll get to them later. But yeah, this is basically the second phase. His AI gets smarter. His CPU strategy doesn't, it does change, but not change on Blue Goku, if you get what I mean. I'm terrible at explaining this, but basically he has more of a defensive strategy, kind of like UI San in the anime, since it focuses more on defense and stuff like that. But his CPU is smarter. His attacks do a lot more damage than Blue Goku. It's just full on crazy. He gets 9 new equips. He already has Defense Boost 3, but I equipped it on him just in case again. He has Mirage, which allows him to dodge any Ki Blast while he's on the ground. Miracle Master, Perfect Guard, Style of the Strong, Power Up to the Very Limit, Ultimate Blast Health Bonus 2, basically means he heals whenever he lands his Ultimate Blast. And he has Infinite Ki, so he's just not going to run out of Ki. And also Power Body Plus, which just basically means he has an extra layer of super armor with his dodges. So not only do you have to watch out for him dodging your attacks, but you also have to watch out for that super armor, buddy. Kind of like Blue Goku, whenever he gets to 70% health, he heals 5 times and forces the action Even Greater Potential, which just, gives him stat boost. Whenever he reaches 50% health, however, he heals 9 different times and gets buffs every 10 seconds. Well, not every 10 seconds, but gives buffs for 10 seconds. So these buffs are incredibly crazy and, well, not really incredibly crazy. He gets hyper armor, which just reduces his chance of being stunned. So along with power body, he's basically just unstunnable for 10 seconds. Now, when he reaches 30% HP, he recovers the full again. Then it triggers an event where he powers up the full power in UI Sign. Forces both the actions power up to the very limit or greater power awaken, I'm pretty sure. And then his Insta Spark, which is power up to the very limit, or Instinct Beyond Mind. I can't remember those move names. Then he just lands the Insta Kill Ultimate, and then strategy type changes to focusing on dashing, attacking, and retreating before the opponent can react. Pretty sure that's called the movement strategy. So, yeah. Better have a character that you're ready to sack off in that moment, because, yeah, they're cooked. Also, my bad on the blue Goku part saying the Spirit Bomb insta-kill you. It doesn't. It does actually 0 damage. And the thing that does 999 damage is your ally's attack. So, yeah, my bad. I was just out of my mind. I was thinking of UI Sign, because that's the most hype part of the raid, in my opinion. But, yeah. Then when he reaches 1% HP, he triggers an event where, like, he powers up to full, then goes Master Ultra Instinct, recovers to full, adds, like, crazy buffs for 10 seconds, crazy attack power, defense, speed, you get the gist. Then you lose all your freaking ki, so yeah, you're done. Then he gets free damage off you like he did in when he transformed the UI Sign, and Kaioken, of course. Gets free damage, 50%. Then it switches effects table to C, aka moves on to the next phase of the raid, Mastered Ultra Instinct. Now, there is this extra thing that I do want to talk about, and that is, by the time that I am making this video, this is a current update that I made. I updated the raid boss because something was wrong with it. I noticed it, so I'm gonna have to replay the raid boss and then leave the code on screen for people at the end of the video. So yeah, but there's this extra thing I want to talk about, this cool mechanic I added. So there are a couple mechanics I added. So you know how in Dragon Ball Legends, when Ultra UI Goku, basically, when you try to tag out against him, he has this thing where he prevents you from tagging out and just throws you and the opponent away, but locks you in. Well, I kind of added something similar to that. Basically, when you try to tag out with any of your characters, it triggers an event where he, strikes his iconic UI pose. This is for both UI Sign and Mastered Ultra Instinct, by the way. He triggers his iconic UI Sign pose, and then forces your character to switch back in, right? And then forces sparking mode, and then adds a bunch of buffs. And what he does from there is entirely his choice. So he could use his ultimate immediately. But basically, it forces you to tag out, and this goes for all your allies, by the way, so you're not allowed to tag out. So, yeah, good luck with tagging out. And, of course, you already know my favorite thing. If you miss an attack, they get free damage off of you type of thing. But then there's this other thing. Since it's UI Goku, every time you miss a melee attack, if you're just whiffing, he dodges, or you're being freaking stupid, you get debuffs. It reduces your defense for 10 seconds and your attack power. But it also gives him movement speed for 10 seconds. So, well, yeah, he's just a beast. But anyways, yeah, that's about it for the UI Sign raid. Well, I said UI Sign raid. UI Sign phase. Now, let's move on to, what everybody came here for. Once he reaches 1 HP, like I said earlier, he unlocks the full power of Ultra Instinct.
Something beyond my strength's limit. Huh.
Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku. He basically has all the buffs and equipments that regular UI Sign Goku had, but it's times 100, so good luck. But there is this one thing that he has just infinitely, and that is sparking mode. So he never runs out of sparking. He always has his ultimates, always has infinite ki. It's just it's just completely crazy. Now, Now for like the healing and stuff. When he reaches 70% health, he recovers to full. This happens 9 times, so he heals 9 times. Recovers to full, then forces the action skill 1, which I'm pretty sure is ultra movement, so he teleports behind you, kind of like Blue Goku did. And then there's this other thing. If you thought he healed just 9 times, you're crazy if you think that's it. No. When he reaches 50% health, he heals another 9 times. And, does ultra movement, teleports behind you. And so basically, he heals like about 18 times, is what I would say if he didn't heal another 9 times. When he reaches 30% health, he reaches 100 again. And then, ultra movement behind you. So that is another 9 times. Do the math. 9 times 3 is... That's right. It's 27. So yeah, he heals 27 different times. That's freaking crazy. But you know what's even more crazier? When he reaches 1 HP. When Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku reaches 1 HP, it activates a cutscene where he gets up and then does his little intro bit. Basically, when he... My bad, my mic cut out. But basically, when he reaches 1 HP, he gets up and does his little intro animation. Basically, when he goes full power, recovers to full one last time, and then forces the action skill 2, which is Insta Spark. I don't know why I added that, but I guess it just felt more cinematic in my head. And then it gets just an incredible amount of buffs. Changes strategy type to Ultimate Blast. So basically, he's just going to rush you, kind of like Blue Goku, and focus on Ultimate Blast. Then there's this text that displays on screen that says, "There you are, this is it." And then he just lands an Ultimate Blast on your teammates. So again, keep all 3 of your teammates, dog, otherwise you're not going to win this raid. That removes Immortal Body from him. So, yeah, basically it's just a 1v1 between you and UI Goku. And always, I added something a little different this time. So like UI Sign Goku, if you try tagging out, he just won't allow that, and he gives you debuffs and him buffs. But there's this thing. It reduces the chance of him being stunned by 10 seconds. And then he lands his second skill. Don't worry, it doesn't do that much damage. It only does 12% damage, so it's barely doing anything to you. But it does knock you back. And again, since he always has access to his ultimate, he can basically do whatever he wants at the time. It just, beat the brakes off of you, which is crazy. But I added another thing if you just miss your Ki Blast attacks, because I'm just petty like this. It's basically the same thing like the melee attacks to reduce the chance of him being stunned, but it also increases his Ki Blast power. And then he lands, Blast Hit 2, doesn't do that much damage, you get the whole gist of it. It just stuns you for a little bit. But, yeah. And also, it's the same thing for Ki Blast and melee attacks, not just for you tagging out. So if you try to tag out, he'll land Blast Hit 2, doesn't do that much damage, gets buffs, blah, blah, blah. Then it does the same thing for, when you miss your melee and Ki Blast attacks. The only difference is when you try to tag out against him, it activates a cutscene. But in this time, it doesn't activate a cutscene. And of course, you already know, gotta have the K-Boy Ultra Special. When you miss your attacks, he lands his, that type of stuff, that whole type of deal. But also another difference when you try to tag out, he does land Blast Hit 2, but it does 50% damage. So, yeah, don't tag out against this guy, dog. It's just, yeah. Also, there's this thing. Every 30 seconds, he will use Ultra Movement. So this man will be dodging and weaving almost every single attack. So you better keep track of how many seconds pass by. Because if you're using your ultimate, but 30 seconds pass by, he's just going to teleport behind you. And guess what? If you miss your ultimate, he gets maximum damage off of his next ultimate. AKA, he just gets free damage off of you. So, yeah, that's freaking crazy. With all that on the list, this raid boss is busted. Now, of course, this raid boss does hold a special place in my heart. A majority of my raid bosses do. I say a majority because there are some raid bosses that I just don't care about and they feel like a chore to do. Like, there's this raid boss I made called Human Extermination where you have to fight all the humans. I did not give two singular fricks about that raid boss. But, I had to do it, blah, blah, blah. But the raid boss will like extremely powered characters, or my favorite characters. Those are the ones that I hold dear to my heart because, you know, I care about them a lot. But the reason I'm making this separate raid boss video is because the raid bosses I made initially, when I made the whole video sharing the codes about them or whatever, I had already posted them online. And I'm not going to post 50 different videos about separate raid bosses explaining their mechanics. So I'll just give y'all the codes to them and just, you know, let y'all play through them and get your experiences. But this one just scared me because I'm making 50 different raid bosses, including the ones that I already posted and including this one. So, yeah, I just felt like I had to warn y'all about this raid boss just in case. Y'all can go check out the raid boss for yourself. I'm going to leave the code on screen in a couple of seconds. And also going to say it out loud just in case, you know. But, yeah, in total, that is the Ultra Instinct Goku Raid boss. It is absolutely crazy.
All right. Guess that's that.
And as you can see here is the code that I'm leaving on screen. Now, the reason why it's overlaying is because this is before I updated the raid boss. So the code on screen is the new and official code. It is 3011662403. I wish everyone good luck on this raid boss that wants to participate. Also, be sure to click the L3 prompt for the love of God. That is how you access the full raid boss. And also, specific YouTuber, Godofheroics, I will leave his channel down in the description. He's gonna try out this raid boss and then watch this video. So if you're watching this video right now, let the audience know about your experience with this raid boss. Either that or just leave your video in the comments and I will pin it down below.